Good morning. It's Friday, the 15th of September, 2017, and this is episode number 12 of Shootin' the Breeze. Yes, the title says it all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm joined by my co-host, as always, a man from the land of the rising sun, Mr. Dr. Senju. Good evening to you, sir.
Good evening. Good morning to you, sir. Considering that it's morning to you and evening to me here. How are you, sir?
Better.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Better.
I heard that's good. I mean, I heard you got quite a rough week, I think. Quite a rough week, I believe.
Yeah. Kidney stones decided to pop their head up after 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And I had family members who had kidney stones, and it was a chore to do so. So there's that.
It was
and
minor. This was a minor battle. Only
Mhm.
9. I only passed 9. I seem to be okay. I haven't had any issues in the last 24 hours. So
That's good. That's good. At least you don't really need to go on an operation. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about kidney stones. It is our title for today.
Yes,
I mean, come on.
This
This is Shootin' the Breeze.
This
Aside
is life.
from Wes talking wrestling, we should talk about life. I mean,
Yeah.
what with the whole Hurricane Irma and the devastation coming off with it. Shout out to all my friends at States. If you guys are on the area where it's affected, hang tough in there. We know. I understand the pain because we already been rocked by some terrible news that that North Korea has already launched a missile overhead Japan. So that got us shivering a little bit. So there's that.
Oh boy.
Well.
Yeah. In other news.
Lacey Evans deserves a shout out because well.
Yeah. I've seen some of the pictures she's posted. Pretty bad, but
yep. The first lady of NXT herself. Well, the lady of NXT, basically.
Her and her family are well, which is a good thing.
Number one. And number two, she seems to have taken to it very well indeed. So shout out to you, Miss Evans. Hope you hang tough in there. And just a shout out again. Taker is also a former Jarhead. So there's that.
Yes, I am. So hoorah to you, Lacey. Shout out to the core. And as we say in the core, Semper Fidelis.
Yes.
Now, on a sadder note, yesterday, a well-known wrestler from Austria, owner of his own promotion and one-time AWA heavyweight champion, Otto Vance, passed away of an undisclosed illness. Our thoughts and prayers and condolences to his family. He was a great man. He's one of the few that has body slammed both Andre the Giant and Yokozuna.
Wow, such a huge feat.
That is a huge feat. A couple guys over 500 pounds.
He can just body slam them like Hulk Hogan did. And yet this guy doesn't really get the accolades that he deserves. So again, shout out to the Wens. Shout out to the Wens family for it.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, we're talking about a lot of stuff today, ranging from life to kidney stones. I mean, goodness, didn't you sound okay last week since the last time we did the podcast?
Yes, I was. I mean, we even did the run-in on Fizz's Wacky World of Wrestling, and I was fine. It was after that I went to lay down in bed and the pain started. Even though I was in extreme pain, I went to work Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, I just couldn't deal with the pain anymore and called off. I was accused of other things by my boss, but that's a whole other issue that I don't need to get into.
Well.
And basically, that's when I started passing the stones. And, as they came along, it's better.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I haven't had any more issues or stones passed in almost 24 hours. So I'm doing better. I'll be back to my normal work schedule tonight. So, 10 o'clock tonight, I start working back at the motel.
Oh, yeah. Since we're talking about your motel, what do you do exactly anyways? That's the biggest question that we should ask about, though.
Oh, I'm a front desk clerk.
Wow. Service on the service industry to the people.
And I deal with a lot of idiots, but that's a whole especially after 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
That's what time bars close here in the States. I don't know what time bars close over there.
Oh, much later. 3, anything? The latest that I got was 3 a.m. So there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I hear you, man. I mean, I have had worked as a service in the service industry as at an inn around here. So it's really tough and it's really hard dealing with a lot of people with a lot of different personalities. Sometimes you get good people with good manners. Sometimes you get idiots with less manners than you could give your dollar to. So there's that.
Yeah.
But well, that will be a little bit more pressure considering you're passing stones and you're still gonna have to work.
Yeah.
That sucks. That sucks.
Yeah. There's been a total of 9. So.
Right.
And they're not
Nine
that.
also. It's
They're
not.
not all that big either.
Yeah, I think it's tiny. It's like small rocks or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's calcium deposits is what it is.
Mm-hmm. But as far as I heard, my goodness, when it passes through your urethra, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, it hurts. It hurts.
It hurts. If you're pissing, it's gonna.
Yes.
Basically, if you're pissing wind, it's gonna hurt. At least, at least last week, Roman Reigns or John Cena doesn't really have that kind of kidney stone problems when they piss in the wind.
Yes, thank God. I wouldn't wish that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
Oh no. Illness, any kind of illness you don't want to wish on your enemies.
Oh, some, but I mean, minor ones. But I mean, I'm not gonna wish cancer or kidney stones or, a heart attack or anything like that on my worst enemy. Why? Karma.
No.
Karma.
Yeah. I mean, let the universe deal with assholes, jerks, and stupid, idiotic people, however they see fit.
Exactly.
We just need to kind of be the better man, be the better person, and just step away from it.
Yep.
Let karma deal its work. That's how it is. That's how it was. Anyway, considering we're talking about, let's. I mean, you did okay. Considering that we wanted to talk about wrestling, did you know that Kairi Hojo was once in Lucha Underground?
No. That's this morning when you told me that. I was like, what? Wait a minute.
I mean, okay, here's the story. Here's the simple story with it. I think on Tuesday nightly, September 11th or September 12th. Is it 10 or 11? I'm not really sure. I've forgotten. And we were talking, and Metal Matt somehow decided to bring up this one gif of Kairi Hojo in black leather. And she looked damn near hot in that one.
Yes, she does. I've seen said gif. Oh my God.
Do you need to
take all my money?
Okay, take all your money for one. Number two, do we need to take the drool bucket off from you right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which reminds me, I gotta go jump it again.
Anyway, Metal Matt posted this out, and I was thinking, what? Where in the world did I have seen this so recently before? And it clicked into me that she was actually Doku from Lucha Underground, from the Black Lotus triad, basically. And what's even surprising is that her three partners, well, her two partners, one is Angela Fong, the actual Black Lotus. The other two is actually Io Shirai and Mayu Iwatani. All three from Stardom, my friend.
Oh boy.
I mean, one of them was slated to be signed to WWE until she got injured, which was Io Shirai herself.
Mm-hmm.
On Lucha Underground, she's known as Hitokiri. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd love for all of them to be signed, but Angela Fong, her Black Lotus, I think her age is gonna hamper her.
Yep, true.
But then again, Asuka was what?
Asuka was Kana. She's 28. She's 28 when she signed.
She was considered old to be signed by NXT, so who knows what Trips has got in mind.
Yeah, I mean, considering what NXT has been building and Triple H is building, I don't think he doesn't really mind the age difference. I mean, age is just a number to him, I think. To him, I think
to him, it's can they go in the ring? Can they tell a story? Can they
Yes,
sell?
exactly.
He doesn't look at what the body type is. He looks at what the wrestler can do in the ring as it should be.
Mhm. I mean, I mean,
Take
this is the
notes,
guy.
Vince.
I mean, didn't you say earlier on that Triple H might just made a lot of money than the main roster himself?
Well, yeah, if you notice, they've never had a lot of the pyrotechnics, the fireworks and all that, but they've always had the interesting entries with the dry ice machines, the smoke machines and stuff like that. And NXT is not cut back really on that. Whereas the main roster in WWE has.
I could see that. I mean, that's
Trips in that and that brand is making money probably hand over fist.
true.
I mean, rumor has it the house show circuit he runs sold out, every venue sold out. Look at what he did in Dallas at American Airlines Arena. He sold the place out. He has sold out Barclays for the 3 takeovers in Brooklyn.
I don't think that he has not managed to make any of his pay-per-view on NXT not sell out.
Yeah,
I think
I don't think any of them have not been sold out.
Yeah, because I think sure number of people in a more smaller venue be damned, but I think hey, if what Triple H is doing is correct and what Triple H is doing is the right way to go with NXT, then by all means just go with it. This is how he wants to run his show, by making it a lot more focused to the characters in the wrestling as well as the fans of wrestling, rather than just please almost every single crowd on the main roster in the WWE universe. Not to knock on them, but just
I think if Vince were to take a page out of Triple H's book of concentrating more on the wrestlers and the wrestling in ring and not so much about what the fans want. I mean, give the fans what they want, the types of characters they want is what Triple H is doing. But in the long run, you look at SummerSlam weekend. Okay. Great weekend overall. SummerSlam was good. I mean, there were some drawbacks on the matches. We talked about that
extensively, I think.
Yeah. TakeOver, however, once again, stole the weekend.
Yeah. I just remembered that I did actually comment on that. I said that I didn't look forward to the TakeOver because it's going to be overshadowed by SummerSlam for the first time. And then I got my doubts wrong, and I already admitted I'm not going to doubt TakeOver ever again. I
mean, me myself, crying at the, tears rolling down my face after Asuka Ember Moon. That don't happen.
Oh, okay. That rarely happens, I believe.
Rare. It's very rare. And I was disappointed and felt bad for Ember Moon in the losing effort, but God, they put on a match that weekend.
Yeah.
Once again, the women stole TakeOver Brooklyn again.
True. They stole the TakeOver for the second time in a row for the pay-per-view this year, I believe.
No, second out of 3.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I forgot.
The first one was Bayley Sasha.
Yeah, okay. The first one was Bayley Sasha. The second one was I think the second one was Asuka and
Asuka Bayley.
Yeah, Asuka Bayley. The rematch of Asuka Bayley. The third one was Ember Moon and Asuka. So there's that. I mean, I don't know if you know this, but if we're talking about NXT right now, they're already starting to do a tourney on who's going to be the number 1 contender to face Kairi Sane for
I saw that.
The NXT Women's title.
They're following the booking suggestion I made last week.
Ooh. Oh, what was it again? Rehash it a bit for me.
I said that Kairi Sane should be, what are they going to do with the title now that Asuka vacated? I said, well, Kairi Sane won. I said, and I'd seen rumors that there was going to be something with the winner of the Mae Young Classic being a contender for the title. How are they going to determine the other challenger?
Mhm.
And now you're talking about a tournament. I've also read stuff where there's rumors about it being a multi-person match. Please, no, Trips,
Oh,
please.
come on.
No, no, no.
I mean, it
Straight
should
up,
be
one-on-one.
Yeah, it should be one-on-one rather than a four-way or triple threat. Oh, it's just to be one-on-one. It's gonna be fun anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Kairi Sane has already proven herself to be one heck of a showwoman or showman, if you want to call it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, she could be a badass even. I mean, considering her proof that she's already showing herself to be a badass back in Lucha Underground as Doku.
Except losing her arm to Pentagon Dark.
Oh, you're gonna love that one.
I'm gonna have to go find that match
because it's just a small segue to Pentagon Dark's match with the whole of the Black Lotus tribe. It was Doku, and then it was Hitokiri, and then it was Yurei, and then it was Black Lotus coming out. All three of the women lost their arms to Pentagon Dark, and he was challenging them. No matter how many, just bring them out to me. I'll break their arms. It's so cool. Now that I remember, yeah, I think it's out there. I think it's out there on YouTube. I think you could definitely find it there.
I gotta find it.
Yes, we're gonna go find it and then just go watch it. It's awesome. Anyways, talking about the women, basically the women in NXT isn't really in a bad place. It's already been in a good place, and it's getting great. And if NXT is going to go for a 4-way or 3-way with Kairi Sane as one of the opponents, please don't. I mean, any one of the four, Peyton Royce, Nikki Cross, Ember Moon, and I think the last one, I don't remember the last one.
Ruby Riott.
Okay, Ruby Riott.
I think it's Ruby Riott. You look at who's available. Okay, look who's available.
Wait. Isn't Liv Morgan in there too? Hang on. I forgot.
They need to have. Let's see. You'd have Peyton Royce, Billie Kay, Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. It's actually this. Okay. First qualifying match was taped. Okay. Sorry. Saw Peyton Royce with Billie Kay defeat Nikki Cross and Liv Morgan to advance. That means Liv Morgan is out. Nikki Cross is out. And then on the next one, saw Ember Moon defeat Ruby Riott and Sonya Deville. So she earned the second spot. So that means on the final one would be Peyton Royce and Ember Moon, which is going to be a little bit hard.
That's going to be a solid match.
I mean, yeah. But here's the bad news about it, though. Well, from what I've seen, from what I read, they're actually going to go ahead with the Fatal 4-Way. They're only left with a 4th spot, so I don't want to blow. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer on stuff, but it's
that match won't happen until Houston.
Yeah, true. It's gonna be on Houston anyways on the next takeover. But I don't know, man. We've seen great Fatal 4-Ways anyways on SummerSlam even, I think.
Yeah.
With the Arby's bowl of meat suddenly on SummerSlam on that one. We've seen that one. Why not? I'll be okay and say I'll look forward to watching the Fatal 4-Way, even though I don't like how they're planning on booking this.
But do they put the strap on Kairi Sane? That's the question. Is she ready? I don't know. But
she's ready. She's ready because let's face it. How do we know as a person outside looking in that a wrestler we like is ready or not? I mean, if we want to say who's ready, why not Peyton Royce? She looks ready already.
Yeah, but she's kind of stuck. Yeah. And Metal Matt, I'm sorry, but she's got Billie Kay strapped to her hip.
True. Okay. So putting the strap on
that could be a hindrance more than an asset. Just my opinion.
True, because let's face it, usually these pairs would actually be broken off. The iconic one could break off to become singles wrestlers. Who knows? Or they could just stick together. I'm not going to go with the Freebird rule or anything. Just let Peyton hold the title. Billie Kay doesn't have the title. We could create the tension after she wins the title. Who knows?
Yeah, have the Billie Kay's jealousy of Peyton Royce having the title be the grounds for the one turning on the other.
Yes, exactly. That's basic booking one-on-one for the partner to turn against the one who's more successful. So yeah, there's that. And let's not forget, we don't really know who the number 4th contender is, because we only have Ember Moon and Peyton Royce for this matter. So there's that. But again, I'm not gonna say that I'm not looking forward to the Fatal 4-Way, because, well,
but why? Okay, why not just slot Billie Kay in there then, and have Peyton wind up pinning Billie Kay in the end to take the title?
Because to be honest, I don't know who's gonna go on the 4th tourney to decide on the 4th spot, because they're doing a triple threat match for all of these. Because we already have Liv Morgan in there, we already have Nikki Cross out, and then we have Ember, Peyton, and Sonya Deville out. So who's next? Probably Lacey Evans in, if she's settled out with her problems in Florida. And then that's possible. And then who else is there who's signed already?
Well, if the rumors are true about Jazzy Gabbert, throw her in there.
Who knows? But we need that one is still kind of like a rumor that we are hotly trying to contest. I think probably Lacey Evans. Maybe we could slot in Billie Kay, and the last one could either be Taynara Conti, because she's already signed. Sarah Logan is already signed.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities to slot in the 4th one for the triple threat. So there's that. Talking about that, yes, I do have a small list. I think people already know on the small list that confirmed signees on NXT, on PC, whatever. I mean, we already have the ones that you can confirm are the ones who've already had their names changed prior to signing with the NXT. After signing with the NXT, sorry, not prior. I mean, people like Abby Lane, Kairi Sane, Dakota Kai, Sage Beckett is in. Those names are most likely have been signed. So more or less likely have been signed. Yes, we do. Taker did say earlier, Jazzy Gabert is. We're not saying he's confirmed signed or not. We're just saying that we've read stuff on the net that confirms that
she. I just heard this morning that on K-Tight Seats in the daily thread that Jazzy Gabbert, alpha female Jazzy Gabbert, canceled her date for WXW on the 7th of October.
Ooh, interesting.
So, I mean, and then I go other places and I see currently signed by WWE and assigned to NXT.
Jazzy Gabert.
Jazzy Gabert, right? And I'm seeing it. And I'm like, And then you're telling me Meltzer has put it out on Monday. Which was the 11th. Mm-hmm. And that she signed. So there's 2 sources right there. Actually, 3.
Yeah.
Because the person in question who put it out on the daily said they had tickets for that show. Now, he's worried. That same person is worried about, he has tickets for that show. He's worried about Toni Storm and Piper Niven. Both, because they're both announced for that show too.
Yeah. I mean, okay. If we want to go on a quick jump, I mean, we've seen Toni Storm and both Toni Storm and Piper Niven in the Mae Young Classic Finals.
Yes, they were there.
That already, yeah, they were there. But despite people are jumping, saying, "Oh, they're signed, they already signed." I'm just holding back my expectations a little bit and just saying that, oh, they're just there just because they want to support their friend. That's it. Mercedes Martinez with Shayna Baszler, Candice LeRae, probably with Kyrie or Shayna, either one of the two. Who knows? I mean, I'm not jumping on the boat jumping on that boat just yet. But yeah, I think because right now, because Jazzy Gabert has canceled her booking on WXW, and Meltzer already speaking on Wrestle Talk. He spoke in Wrestle Talk on September 11th that Jazzy Gabert has signed to WWE. He reportedly said that. So I think she's signed. We're just waiting. I think she is.
But the question is, according to, like I said, sources that I've seen, she's signed to NXT. However, her age, she is 32.
She's 35, I think. Not 32.
She's in her 30s. Why don't you know? And the times I saw her on the Mae Young Classic, which was that basically one match. I think she's ready for the main roster already because she's got all the skills.
Okay.
That's
Here's
just my opinion.
Okay. I agree because if you watch Road to Mae Young Classic before I think a day before, after Raw, after Raw, there's a Road to Mae Young Classic on the WWE Network. Yes, WWE, we're plugging your network. Please pay us.
Yeah. And verified age of 35.
Yeah, verified age of 30. Okay. If you watch Road to WrestleMania, if you watch Road to Mae Young Classic on that one, where there's a 3-on-3, Santana Garrett, Sarah Logan, and Marty Bell against Kaylee Ray. Jazzy Gabert was there, and Tessa Blanchard. Jazzy Gabert got the biggest pop in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch the whole match, each and every time she was tagged in, the Full Sail crowd was cheering her on. I mean, we want Jazzy. We want Jazzy.
Yeah.
That was going on. That was going on for about 2-3 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes. I mean, and when
isn't that the infamous meme or meme that's out there right now of Full Sail crowd chanting, "We please sign Jazzy, please sign Jazzy," and Triple H making a statement that every time that you guys do this to me, it costs me a lot of money.
Yep, it's the same one. It's the same one. He even did that. He even even though it was Dippy, he did that. Yeah, we seen that. We seen the clip. He actually did. It actually pulled out Triple H after the end, and he was talking about how for the women, there's no pot of gold in the end with what they're doing in wrestling until now. And when the crowd going, please sign Jazzy, please sign Jazzy, he's whipping them back and saying, every time you already did this in CWC, every time you guys do this, it costs me a lot of money.
He's got the money to spend. That's the thing.
Yeah, he got money to spend.
Why? Because their merch, people's merch moves. He sells out venues. What else?
Characters are compelling.
Yes, every character they've had, whether and if it doesn't work in a month or 2 months, they change it up right away. They scrap that whole idea. They move on to something else. Prime example, Adam Rose.
Okay.
When he was Freddy Krueger, it didn't really work.
Oh.
As soon as he became Adam Rose,
wow,
it went over like crazy.
It went over like crazy for the NXT because the NXT quickly accepted it as a character in there.
Yeah, they finally saw the guy, the person playing Adam Rose, as he found exactly what he should be.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and
true,
it worked. It would have gotten over on the main roster if he hadn't been accused of spousal or domestic violence. True. I think because it was working that direction.
It was starting to work on that direction, and then that unfortunately that happened on his case, and then he was switched, to the social outcast, and then he was switched to another odd character.
Well, you look at social outcasts for a sec. Heath Slater. Tag champion. He was the most over of the bunch.
Exactly.
Now you look at Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. They're finally getting over as heels because of their interference with the Miz's matches as the Miztourage.
Okay. Yeah. True. I mean, at least their run in being the Miztourage would give them a little bit at least a life and at least give them something to do.
Yeah.
At least give them something to do. Anyways, back to NXT and back to the signing. I mean, sure, if we wanted to go to the jumping route, okay, we could kind of say for certain. I'm not going to say that we confirm it or we deny it. We're just saying that we read that it's slowly beginning to look like a believable fact that Jazzy Gabert has been signed.
Yes.
We're just going to say that. So,
they're, like I said, there's open sources out there that everybody can check.
And then there's also the two Chinese women, Zia Lee and Zeta. They're signed.
Well,
Surprisingly,
Zia Lee was already signed prior.
yep, she was training with the NXT in the Performance Center before that. So
yeah, and like I said, her match on the Mae Young was her debut match. It was her first match ever. And like I said, when I watched it, when we talked about that match, my God, if that was her first match in NXT, and she's only what, 21, 22 maybe?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Looks like she's been wrestling for a lot of years, man. I'm looking it up too.
Born in 1964. So, wait, am I correct or am I not correct? I think no, that's not her. That's not her. Okay, never mind. Never mind. You can look it up. Wow. Okay, but I mean, here's the thing though, because she has a background in kung fu, Chinese wushu, and she even joined the Second World Traditional Chinese Wushu Championship, and as well as fitness events in her country, China. And this is the product. This is the product of talent scouting by the WWE to China. So she's the handpicked one. She's the result of it. And if she could pull off that kind of match with Mercedes Martinez, another veteran as well at that time, I mean, my goodness, her uptake is really, really getting big.
Her upside is great.
And yeah, her upside is really great.
But putting her with a veteran like Mercedes, though, helps.
Yeah, true. Because
we'd have to see her in a match against Bianca Belair.
Oh,
two rooks going at it.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see what happens to it. I mean, someone with the whip with someone with the fan.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Gimmick aside, yes, whips versus Chinese wushu. Who would win? And talking about
didn't she try out it was Shanghai, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. It's possible, I think so.
But Zeta, a nice veteran working, they're rooming together per your information, so that helps.
They're roommates in Florida.
That's going to help a lot because Zeta will help her develop. Zeta will help Zia Lee develop her character even more.
Exactly. It's true. I mean, that's one. And there's a few more. Tainara Conti, of course, she signed. Sarah Logan, of course, she signed. Vanessa Bourne is signed. Rhea Ripley is signed, although I think you'd already noticed during Asuka's relinquishing of the NXT Women's title that she's there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Reina Gonzalez is signed, surprisingly.
You're kidding.
Yep.
Because she wasn't there that night.
Nope. She wasn't. And she signed.
Wow. Reina's a hell of a performer.
She is.
Good on you, Trips, man. Good on you. You got some good people. One who needs to be signed. I don't know if there is Mercedes.
Oh,
God,
Mercedes
she
Martinez.
could do. Yes, she could do so much with NXT.
I mean, come on. She could be the gatekeeper. She could be the carpenter, even though her experience belies her ability in the ring.
Yeah, give her a run. Eventually give her a run with the NXT title. Send her up for the main roster for a year or two, and then give her a lifetime position as a trainer, helping Sarah Amato down at the Performance Center. She's set for life. She'd be set for life.
She should. She could be. She could be. I mean, here's the thing. She has been wrestling for what?
16 years.
Yeah, she has. 17 years, I think, if you want to count this year. If you want to discount this year, 16. Yeah, 16.
This is her 17th year.
Yeah, this is the 17th year. And her stuff has mostly been on the independent circuit a lot of times. And I mean, her experience alone should actually merit herself being signed into even if not in the NXT, in the PC to help out Sarah Amato, formerly known as Sarah Del Rey. So there's that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no arguments from me.
I mean,
because you saw the match she pulled out of Baszler.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. I mean, this is it's a classic tale of teacher versus prodigy. It's a classic tale of teacher versus prodigy. Who'll come out on top, the student or the teacher herself? So
Yep.
there's that. And it was pulled off quite beautifully, in fact.
It was a compelling match.
Uh-huh.
I didn't want to see either one of them lose.
Oh, true.
It's like the Tessa Blanchard Kyrie Sane match in the first round. I didn't want to see either one of them lose.
True.
Because during that match, you saw the light turn on with Tessa, and it's like, oh,
this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what. Yeah. I mean, okay. That's another name that I think has the right time now to be signed. Tessa Blanchard. I mean, yeah, I did detract her back when we were talking about the MYC when it came out in the network, and I was a small detractor by then. But yeah, I think
she had a reputation of a bad attitude.
True, but I think bad reputation aside, she's still good. She's still
green.
She's still green. Number one.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one.
I have to give her dad props though.
Tully.
Yes, he told her to go to college and get her degree first.
Yeah, true. But
So
if you want to give,
she has that in her pocket if this wrestling thing really doesn't work for her.
True. She's an intelligent woman. That much is for sure, considering that she got her education first, then going. But if you want to talk about that, I think we could talk about Rachel Evers on the same breath, like that.
Yeah.
Because Precious Paul Ellering, my God.
Paul Ellering said the same thing to her. Get your education first, then we'll talk.
True. And
he's a guy. There's a guy who has contacts around the world.
Oh yeah. From what I've read and from what I've researched, yep. If you're in the know with Paul Ellering, or Paul Ellering knows you, you're set. You're actually quite set to go on for a career.
Paul Ellering has got Mensa intelligence.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Actually, he does.
He's very intelligent.
Is he signed? Is he one of the Mensa members?
I don't know if he's a Mensa member, but he's got that kind of intelligence. Because go back to when he was managing Legion of Doom and Road Warriors. Okay. And this is common knowledge, and it's out there. You can find it on the network if you want to look hard enough.
Okay.
There's a documentary about them. I've seen it on YouTube prior. And Animal talks about what Paul did. He was making sure that their tickets were taken care of. He helped set them up retirement. He was teaching them how to invest in the stock market. These guys were set. By the time they came to WWE, they were already rich. They didn't need to do wrestling to make money. They already had their money. Why? Paul was teaching them. Paul is a very, very intelligent man. When he carried, you used to see him carry around that newspaper. It was a freaking Wall Street Journal he would carry, and he would read it every day.
Correct. He is. Most of the photos that I'm looking right now is him holding a Wall Street Journal.
And that's not a prop.
That's actually an actual newspaper, roll of newspaper.
And it's not a prop that he would use. It was something he actually read every day.
Wow. That's just impressive. I mean, this is a guy who kind of sees the business as a business. What will happen to me in about 5 weeks? What will happen? 5 weeks. Sorry. What will happen to me about a year? What about happening to me in 5 years? What would happen to me in 10 years? Exactly. What should I do? He's prepping himself for the future, basically, and he did the same thing with his kids, especially Rachel. I mean, there's that.
Yeah, Rachel Evers has got a wealth of knowledge when it comes to wrestling business in general.
Yep, and she
just through freaking osmosis from her dad.
Yep, number one and number two, she did take the genes of. I think that she did inherit Paul Ellering's genes a little bit because she's an accomplished powerlifter back then. Back in 2014, and Paul Ellering back then is also a powerlifter.
Yeah, he was a wrestler that, believe it or not, got into management because he blew out both of his knees in one match.
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. Correct.
And he learned a whole new thing, going from a performer in the ring as talent to a performer in the ring / ringside as a manager.
Yep.
He owns that role beautifully.
Mhm.
I put him on the same class as Bobby the Brain.
I love that. I think Bobby the Brain Heenan is totally underrated as a
greatest
totally
manager of all
underrated.
time.
Yep.
Paul Heyman is not even close yet. I think it's Bobby, then Paul.
Which Heyman? Which Paul?
Ellering.
Okay.
Then Paul Heyman, a distant third.
I mean, talking about
But
the
that's
managers,
just my opinion.
I mean, back then there were a lot of managers you would see hyping up the wrestlers. Now you can't really see.
There's only one right now, maybe two with Paul Ellering. But let's see. We had Bobby Heenan. We had Captain Lou. We had the Grand Wizard. We had Sir Oliver Humperdinck. Lord Alfred Hayes. Oh God.
Well, don't forget Michael P.S. Hayes as well.
Michael P.S. Hayes was a manager for a while. Who else? Oh God, I can go on and on.
Yeah, I mean, look at the pedigree of managers and how they bring an extra depth of layer to anyone they manage. I mean, that's a lost art. It's quite a lost art.
It is quite a lost art. They need to bring some of them back. They need to bring, and
that's
Trips,
why
if you're listening, try to get some folks in there that want to get into the manager roles. We need to see the managers again.
Yeah, I mean, even though they could wrestle, they could discover an avenue in managing or just be a on-screen manager for some.
Yeah,
it could really turn up good for the promotional skill.
Oh God, we can't forget James E. Cornette.
Oh,
as a manager, he was good.
Yep, he was good. Yes, I won't deny that. He's good.
He could get the heat on. He could get heat, boy. Good God, could he get heat? Even today, he still gets heat.
Agreed. I mean, that's one. I mean, right now, even though I think it was 20 plus years, 30 plus years now, you'd still have to rely on Paul Heyman to sell up Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
You still have to rely on a manager like Paul Heyman to sell on Brock Lesnar when supposedly you don't really need to call on Paul Heyman. Just call on anyone else. Just to train them.
Well, the thing about it is that Brock Lesnar really could never talk.
That's true. Because selling promos and cutting a promo isn't really Lesnar's strong suit.
No. Whereas if we want to talk about cutting promos and a good week of cutting promos, Roman Reigns left John Cena bleeding profusely in that promo battle this past week.
I think it would be safe to preface this week on Raw, the day Roman Reigns actually won in a mic battle with John Cena by a shade or two. I mean, my goodness, he is improving he is improving week by week, and he is learning fast week by week on how to cut promos.
To be perfectly honest, you know what I think is going on?
What?
Is that, and this may sound crazy as hell, but hear me out.
Okay.
John is working with him behind the scenes.
You know what? I'm not against that idea. Because
John Cena, one of the master talkers.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones that's given bullet points and goes out and does this thing. Mm-hmm. And if you look at this past thing with John and Roman, I didn't see much scripting between those two. There wasn't, Roman wasn't searching for words. He was just going.
Yep. Remember the first week when we commented about the first time that they took on verbal battle together on the first week that they did that, and both of us agreed that week sounded like they were scripted. Both of them sound I don't know about John Cena. Of course, we won't discourage John Cena from going script because he's a master on the mic. Give him a script and then he just improv on his own, even if he forgets some things.
Right.
Roman Reigns, on the other hand, sounds like he scripted a little bit. And then you go to the second week on Raw, and he sounds much more natural. Roman Reigns sounds much more natural, much more comfortable in his promos, in the promos that he delivered on the second week. This week, he sounds far more composed.
Yes.
He doesn't really need a long-winded story. He just needs a few words.
That's the best way for him to cut a promo. Say as little as possible, but get the point across.
Yep.
Short, sweet, to the point. I mean,
because
get your bitch ass back in here. I mean,
whoa.
And I mean, that stopped John cold.
Yep.
He stopped, turned around a little like, you did not just say that, did you?
Yeah, he did. No, he did. I mean, he did. He just did. And you can't. And it reduced John Cena to actually having to pull out a dirty tactic and calling out Roman Reigns' drug charges back then.
Yeah.
It reduced him to a point of that where he's, did that just happen? How do I come back from that? Oh, I know. Let's bring up the drug problem that Roman Reigns had. That's a good way to move, John. But yes, if we want to go,
Roman recovered that, covered that up nicely. He goes, "Hey, everybody has a past, even you." And the look on John's face is like, "Oh shit." So,
he's learning. He's learning fast.
He is.
And if what you say is true, and we'll posit it as a kind of like a theory or just a guess of our own, if John Cena is actually helping Roman Reigns behind the scenes on how to talk better as a mic, okay, it's a good thing. It's a great thing even. It's a great thing even. But then again, it would certainly go down with the road that people are saying that Roman Reigns is John Cena light.
But the thing about it is that John is probably just saying, look, you could do this, or this. He's not telling him exactly how to do it. He's giving him advice on what he could do. And Roman is taking the pieces and parts that work for him and making it his own style. Because Roman's style this week was 180 degrees a polar opposite to what John Cena was saying.
Agree.
The style is completely different. And it's working because Roman is being more himself. And that's one of the biggest keys. Be yourself, first of all.
Yeah. Agree. I mean, I think we've already talked about this a lot more, that the best characters on WWE are the characters that play themselves, just turned up to 11 or turned up to 12.
Yeah, Enzo Amore, for instance. Yep.
Again, if he's detracting people or just detracting, he's just playing himself, just turned up to 11. Despite what the rumors say about him backstage, or just stories about him backstage.
Although let's talk about that for a minute, because we had Miz TV on Raw Monday night.
Yep.
And I think Miz would shoot on him.
Actually, yeah, I agree. Wait a minute.
Yeah, because remember, he brought up everything. That's why you're banned from the locker room. That's why you're banned from tour buses. Banned from the bus. Blah 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 blah. And the look on Enzo's face is like, "Oh, you just did not go there." And then for Enzo to call the Miz Mike or Mikey. Mike is his first name. It's his real name.
Sure.
And then the who's your daddy thing. I don't care who you are. That'll piss anybody off.
Exactly. I mean, okay. Before I continue on, did I just hear you correctly? Did I just hear that you are praising the Miz a little bit with?
Like I've said before, and I'll say again, I will give credit where credit is due.
Okay. Sal would be proud.
Oh, I'm sure he is. If he's listening, I'm sure he is.
Next week. Anyway, I love that segment. I mean, I love that segment. It is a segment steeped in. It's a segment blurred in both shoot and work.
Yes.
but I think it's obvious that we're listening to the Miz actually shooting on him. So that's one. There's all of and Enzo trying to shoot back with shoots as well. So there's also that as well. But
because there was a time, because Enzo brings up that him and the Miz are similar, because there was a time where Miz was in the same exact boat.
Agreed. True.
So
because back then Miz wasn't really liked. Miz was to some of the veteran wrestlers and to some of the wrestlers, Miz was the outsider coming in from reality TV, coming in to become using the reality TV platform as a means for him to become a wrestler.
Yeah.
And now, I think several years later, he's doing himself justice by showing the others, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I can do. So there's that. Kudos to The Miz, and kudos again to The Miz, because he already proved himself that he can really shoot on someone when he wants to.
Oh yeah, and congratulations to both him and Maurice.
Oh yes, congratulations.
That they're going to have a child. That's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though it's The Miz.
Your hatred for him knows no bounds, but still,
no,
congratulations.
I do not hate on the man. I despise the character.
The character. Yes, we're drawing the line there. Your hatred for the character knows no bounds. Him, I mean, both.
Him and Maurice I respect, because they are both great at what they do.
Correct.
Miz is great on the mic. He's better than he was when he first started in the ring. He's someone that I could never see him face. They've tried. It doesn't really fly well.
He's doing his job well, like I always say.
Yeah. It's almost like, let's see, who's better? It's like Orton, better as a heel than a face.
Yes. Okay. I agree on that one. I mean, these two guys actually, I think if you, I'm not going to tell you to watch Tola Divas or anything like that. No. Based on what we watched outside off screen from the ring, these two pair are very happy with each other. I think that's credit for them, because my goodness, these two pull off such hated characters on screen. Characters that you can't really wait to find someone and go, okay, buddy, there's the Miz. Can you just punch him for me? Because I really hate this guy. Kind of like that. But I mean, I love both from that segment. I love both the verbal segment that Miz actually threw down, and Miz really killed it here, because he turned what could have been a throwaway. He always does this, and I think he could be displayed in the same breath as Chris Jericho for a bit, because he turned what could have been a throwaway segment into a memorable moment for this week on Raw. And that's the thing. And what else? And I mean, Amore handled himself relatively well against the A-lister on the mic. I mean, for the match itself, goofy, gimmicky contest. I think it's more or less, in a way, it's trying to hide that either Enzo could wrestle or Enzo could not wrestle. It's a way of hiding his wrestling ability. Who knows? So, I mean, it's a funny thing. I mean, the segment itself was fun. The match itself was okay. It served to kind of cover up his deficiencies on the mat. I mean, Amore can go on the mic, questionable still when he goes on the mat. So you can only cover up his holes for so long. Even the Miz wouldn't help you with that one.
Nope. And then the thing about it is that they have Neville in the back, just laughing.
Yes. Again, nice. I think that response by Neville is just sweet.
It's priceless.
It's priceless. Yes, correct. It's the whole proverbial you tied a bow on a wonderful present, and there's that.
I don't expect much from that match, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like I said, the Miz took this what could have been a throwaway segment and a throwaway match into one of the most memorable ones in the night.
Yes.
I mean, he has this similar ability to Chris Jericho in a sense, where he also can turn something goofy, something stupid, and something idiotic to something that works and something that's gold. I mean, who could have thought that Chris Jericho could pull off holding a board while yelling up a clipboard while yelling off to stupid idiot would work?
Yep.
But Chris Jericho works it out, and Miz should be considered in the same breath with that kind of work, because he is able to do that when he wants to do that, when he has the ability to do that, and it was wonderful. I mean,
like I said, props to the Miz.
Yep, props to the Miz. I think that was one wonderful memory. Oh, good news for those Finn Balor fans and Bray Wyatt fans who's still looking at this feud of them. We finally have a story. Yay!
Do we?
We finally have meat in the bones. Actually, we finally have more meat in the bones.
I don't see where, but do enlighten me.
Okay. Here's the thing. When Bray Wyatt's match against Goldust happened, when the match itself was fine. It was okay. The interesting point to note is where Wyatt was yelling. He's just a man, you idiot. Your pain is your weapon to protect you from the truth. I mean, that brought an interesting point, because he's fighting against Goldust, who wears face paint, and beneath the face paint, he's just Dustin Rhodes. He's also trying to tie this up with Finn Balor, who's also hiding behind a mask or face paint in the form of a Demon King. Even if you want to question out the fact that maybe the Demon King is a different entity altogether, Bray Wyatt brings up an interesting point. What if the Demon King is just a figment of Finn's imagination, where he puts on the face paint and imagines himself as the Demon King?
I could see that.
Yeah. At least we have meat on the bones now, rather than just too much bones on too little meat. Now we have something that we could
something we could sink our teeth into.
Yeah. He might have a point. Bray Wyatt might have a point on this one. What if when Finn faced against Bray Wyatt next on No Mercy, even probably, Finn loses, Wyatt wins, and therefore proves his point. Finn without the face paint is just a man. Finn with the face paint is a Demon King altogether. That's why it works. I mean, it's an odd creative pairing at first, but it made sense. Now,
yeah, it's a stretch and a half, though.
It was a stretch. So they could have done this, like I said back then, like I said even before SummerSlam, they could have done this before SummerSlam, and that would have cut like 1 or 2 weeks off from a stretch. There's that. And my goodness, watching Goldust without the face paint again was a little bit jarring for me. Striking image too. I mean, we haven't seen Dustin Rhodes without the face paint for a while now, for a long while now.
Yep.
That was jarring for me.
Dustin Runnels.
Dustin Runnels, indeed. So, and then, oh my goodness, why didn't we? And my goodness, I think the highest point would be that confrontation: Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman.
I knew how it was going to end.
Okay, for an old school like you, I think you'd know how it could end. For me, I think it was shock value at its best. I mean, my God,
I'll agree, but it was a predictable ending.
Yep.
Even for you, new school young pup there.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, my goodness. Of course, Paul Heyman pulled out his sermon for setting
Paul
up.
Heyman poked the bear.
Yeah, Paul Heyman poked the bear. Braun Strowman, of course. And my goodness, his words are very powerful in that one. Player ready. Fighter ready.
Fighter ready.
Fighter ready. Points at points at the Titantron. Is Braun Strowman ready? Of course, you know that Braun Strowman is ready, and he comes out. I mean, my God! But the image, I think, the best image was Strowman shaking off Brock Lesnar's German suplex.
Oh yeah.
And when he got up, Brock Lesnar looks as if he has seen a ghost.
Yeah.
Call it what you want. We already talked about it. Brock Lesnar knows how to sell expressions, not sell promotion, not sell promos, not talk, but he knows how to sell actions, emotions, reactions.
Well, and I mean, if you look at commentary, Cole sold it great. Booker T sold it, and so did Graves. Now I'm trying to figure something out when it comes to commentary.
Okay.
Just a quick segue here.
All right. Go ahead.
Who's the heel?
Oh, good question.
Because Cole, Cole creams himself when Elias comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Booker T keeps talking about it's all about checks and championships, and you see him leaning at times towards the heel and being heelish. Mm-hmm. And Graves goes back and forth between face and heel because he can't stand Elias. And yet when Graves was in NXT, he sung the praises of Elias.
I mean, I think are we this is just me going off on a crazy point. Are we seeing the emergence of the blurred line between work and between face and heel commentator as well?
I think so because in one moment, Chris Graves is against the heel, aka Elias.
Okay.
In the next moment, Alexa Bliss comes out and he's all on,
Alexa Bliss.
The goddess, this and that. He's knocking all the faces, blah blah. Make up your mind, Graves.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, because I think in a way they wanted to pull off the personality of Graves, Booker T, and Michael Cole. I mean, they have preference to who they want to cheer and who they want to hate. Just like any other wrestler or just like any other wrestling fan in the WWE universe, they have their favorites and not favorites. You can choose to cheer whatever you want. But I think on the counterpoint of them being a lot more personal, a lot more personality driven, it would drive. I think it would drive a little bit less focus onto the commentary in and of itself, with the play-by-play and the color commentary being blurred, because you don't know who you want to stick on the play-by-play, and you don't want to know who you want to stick on with the color commentary.
Right.
Because on a two-man booth, it's simple enough. You can kind of discern who's the color, who's the play-by-play, who's the play-by-play guy, who's the one who gives it color. On a three-man, it's kind of like you're muddling up the small pot there. Even though it works, you're kind of like muddling it up, because the other one would kind of teeter-totter over being a face or being a heel or being play-by-play or being commentary. And yet we have three people who teeter between that.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit confusing. Fun, but a little bit confusing.
Little bit, very. It's a lot.
It varies a lot.
I found myself at points on Monday, or on when I watched it, I guess it was Wednesday, I said, Rays, make up your goddamn mind.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, all three of them did sell on the segment between Strowman and Lesnar very well. Paul Heyman, of course, he sells it out very well when Strowman slams Lesnar down on the mat.
Well, what was funny is if you look at when Brock hit the German suplex, he's dancing around, and Heyman's, you could see him down on the white shot. You could see him screaming at Brock to turn around. He's up.
He sells it very well.
And he turns around, and Brock's like, holy shit.
Holy shit. I am in deep shit. I am in deep doo-doo now.
I am in deep shit. I am in deep shit.
And then, my goodness, if you want to go with Strowman manhandling Lesnar, monster handling. Okay, since when have we not seen Brock Lesnar be monster handled like that?
When have we ever seen Brock Lesnar working from underneath? Is the question.
I think
other than at SummerSlam.
Yeah. On a one-on-one match, kind of hard to go between after his return. I think on this iteration of his return, almost never.
Yeah, and the previous one, he worked from underneath with Taker more than once.
Yep, because he wanted to make Taker look strong on 2 occasions. I think 2 or 1 or just 1.
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah, same. So, but yes, Heyman helped make the stakes and dynamic of this match clear, even though the commentary should be the one who make the stakes and the dynamic clear.
Heyman did his job as an advocate / manager. That's his job.
Yeah.
And he states, I'm supposed to sell you. He prefaces his promo stating, that it's his job to sell the match. He says it's hard to sell a match that's already been sold.
Yes.
Because it has been.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is like I said earlier, this is an art of the manager that's already dead. You don't see these kind of managers whose job is to sell off their advocate and sell off the match that the advocate is going to go in. It's rare to see.
Yeah, their client, you mean?
Mm-hmm. The client. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
And it's rare. It's a rare lost art of the managers that has already been dead. Because we don't see a manager who utilizes the promo time like Heyman does. Even though it's repetitive, it's still the same process all over again. Heyman always has that. Heyman always has that ability to sell you a match. He always has that ability to sell you a match, even though it's between a broomstick and a mop. He'll sell you that. He'll sell you the match between a broomstick and a mop as if it's WrestleMania.
Now, let me ask you this question: your match with the beach ball.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want Heyman promoting and selling that match for you?
Please. Yes, please. I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna be working I'm gonna be overselling like heck, but sure, yes, please. And I'll be working twice. I'll be working 2 times from what the match card is supposed to look like. But yes, please. Paul Heyman selling off Paul Heyman selling off match between Beach Ball at Nightly Mania would be something of a godsend.
I would pay $1 to see it.
$1?
Yeah. I'd buy that for $1.
Okay, for $1. Okay, I'll accept. I mean, it would be fun.
I don't know when that's happening though.
Probably before WrestleMania.
Okay.
I haven't really hashed out the date yet. Probably before or after. Who knows?
Maybe the same weekend?
Probably the same weekend, yes.
Okay.
Almost definitely the same weekend. And okay. Quick shout out. And then of course, the next one would be John Cena facing against Braun Strowman. My God. to put your biggest star on the paper by beating both John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Wow. Yeah. What an exhibition of Strowman's power and destructive nature. Indeed.
I mean, and the premise of the match was John was saying that basically said that he could take Strowman where Roman couldn't. And Roman was telling him in the promo battle, you don't know what you're in for. You have no idea what you're in for.
I mean, kudos to WWE. I mean, for actually sticking to their guns and wanting to push Strowman bit by bit like this. I mean, this is just booking at its best. I mean, last year, I think last year or last couple of years, you don't really see Strowman in this spot, and right now, wow. Because we both know that when he did his debut with the Wyatt family, he looked green as heck.
Oh God.
he looked as green as green can be. And my God, now he's in the main title picture.
His breath still smelled like Similac, for Christ's sake.
Does it? Does it still smell?
That's how green. That's a statement meaning how green and how young, how green he was as a rookie. I mean, Jesus.
Okay.
He was an infant. He was an infant in the business when he came to the main roster.
And now he's a big ass baby.
Good God.
And here's a big ass monster baby right there. And with that,
like I said, when he first came to the main roster, his breath still smelled of Similac.
I mean, okay. Does it still smell now? No. Even if it does smell, I don't think Braun Strowman would accept that. He'll body slam you out to oblivion and never come back.
That's why I keep my door locked, and I don't want him coming through. But that wouldn't stop him. He just ripped the door off the hinges.
Yep. And then just screams out, "My goodness,
Braun!" I'll be like, "Oh shit, I'm dead."
You're dead. Please do not kill my podcast partner. Please. Please. I cannot do this on my own. I mean, okay. Jokes aside, it was a wonderful. That was a wonderful segment in and all of itself. Raw and this week was good. Surprisingly, again, they were pulling good shows.
4 weeks in a row now.
Yep. Yeah, 4 weeks in a row now. Surprising. I think they're actually getting their shit together. And okay, let's do this. This works. Let's do this again. It works. Let's do it again. Let's improve on that, and it's good. Although yes, there's a few small spots, of course, like the 8-man tag match with Hardys and Ambrolins versus Good Brothers and the Bar. That was pointless.
And watching the Bar walk out on the Good Bros was kind of.
So that was kind of shitty as well.
Yeah, and I kind of expected it though.
Mm-hmm. I mean. It was match-wise. It was average. Match-wise, it was average, and the Bar doing that just shows you how much WWE cares about Anderson and Gallows. I mean, God.
They really don't.
I'm not saying that WWE cares about Anderson and Gallows. I mean, the main roster of Raw, creative on Raw, cares about Anderson and Gallows. That shows how much they deal with that. In terms of they care. No, they don't care. Let's just squash Anderson and Gallows. I mean, okay, if they're professional enough, they thought, okay, it's just a day in the office. But when will it end? When will a day in the office just end? I mean, I can't wait.
When they hook him up with Finn.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to happen. I was just gonna say when they hook up, I can't wait for them to hook up with Finn again, just to take out, say, Wyatt. Or when Wyatt recruits Luke Harper and Eric Rowan back again. So that could signify a turn to.
And meanwhile, those two are still in catering.
Mm-hmm. Eating delicious food. Hopefully.
Yep.
Eating delicious meat, actually. Shout out to Chris Wolf on that one. Anyway, overall, it was a good. It was solid. I mean, even the women's match was between Emma and Sasha was serviceable. There was one thing that night that I really, really liked. Oh, which one? Sure.
They showed the vignette of Asuka coming. Okay.
Of course.
Okay. I mean, and that was done beautifully.
Of course,
the heavy bag swinging back and forth and the different masks that Asuka has worn. Mm-hmm. And then you cut to backstage, you cut to the locker room, and there's Nia in front of a television. Mm-hmm. And she's just shaking her head. In walks Alexa Bliss, and they talk, about Asuka, what makes her think, blah, blah, blah. She's already beat those two down in NXT. We know this. Mm-hmm. But the greatest part of that whole backstage thing was, well, Alexa, I talked to Kurt. Uh-huh. We have a match next week. Uh-huh. And Nia walks away. I was like, money. That's money right there. Print money.
Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax?
Yes, next Monday night.
Wonderful. can't wait to see what happens on that one because well, all the whole bubbling and frothing aside, considering that they already displayed Sasha Banks versus Emma on this week, so yeah, naturally they'll move on to Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss, the champion, going in. So yeah, it's logical. It's logical, but if they wanted to show off Alexa Bliss's ability on the mic on commentary,
that didn't work. That went over like a lead balloon.
I don't know whether Alexa Bliss listens to this or not, but
we'll find out. We'll find out if she sends a tweet to a tweet that's going, "You suck." Or to me, because I'm following her currently, so she, for all I know, she might block me after this. But
oh no, rude.
Yeah, rude.
Just one syllable, rude. But anyway, if this is an attempt for WWE to showcase off Alexa Bliss's ability on commentary, it did not work. Clearly, you can see Alexa Bliss looking uncomfortable on the position. She doesn't really like to be on commentary, I believe.
No.
Nia Jax was, I mean, that's one thing. The other thing is that you have Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss on commentary together. Why not just let them wail on each other?
Yep.
And then, okay, of course, naturally for one, I think I could jump to a conclusion that Alexa Bliss looks like she's scared of Nia Jax. But if I could get that kind of like on 2-3 sittings, how could the rest of them would get on just watching Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss on commentary together? Because from what I know, WWE Universe knows that these two hate each other. These two are supposed to be enemies with each other. So why not just let them hash it out on the ring or outside the ring afterwards, rather than just boil it down to just talk, and then when the match happens, and then Emma got defeated by Sasha Banks, still more talking, and then just ends. Nothing more, nothing less.
No.
I mean, a lot of questions there, but again, about the fight, the match itself had minimal time to work, low energy at a few points, surprisingly, considering the fact of talents of both Emma and Banks. These two are tremendous talents, and still that match had low energy.
Yes.
Surprisingly.
Kind of like they were going through the motions.
I mean, these two have good chemistry. Yes, I can see the good chemistry, but
give me, just sign the check. I'm here, sign the check matches.
This is the I'm here, sign the check matches. Okay, or actually, it's just this. I'm here, sign the check right now. Give me the check, then I'll go.
Yep.
So, I mean, not to knock on both of them because we know both talents, both Sasha Banks
we both know that both of them could work their asses off.
Yes, and I already told you guys, these two have good chemistry, and it already showed on the match there. But the match had a lot of low energy because they were kind of just going through the motions. But here's a big question that I would like to posit. Is this again another sign of Emma going to take the pin at No Mercy on the Fatal 4-Way?
Based on the rumors I'm hearing, she's not scheduled to.
Interesting. Based on what was the reason again on the rumor that she's not going to go eat the pin?
Because they want to make her look strong for Asuka.
Ooh, so they're going to feed Asuka Emma during the debut. Interesting. Hopefully that match could bring out the best in both of them because
Asuka will accept nothing less. We know this.
Yes.
And their match in NXT was great.
Yeah. I hope that would be pitched up to another level back in NXT. I hope that happens. I mean, that's one of them. But if you want to go on a quick wrap up, we even forgotten to hear John Cena confront Roman Reigns, but we already talked about that one. But that segment was wonderful. But we forgot the segment before that where Jason Jordan faced Roman Reigns.
Yes.
We forgot that one.
And that match went about 20 minutes.
Wow. I mean, number one.
And to see Roman shake his hand afterwards, that you could see that there was respect.
Yep. Yep. Because
Given.
Here's the thing. Comparing John Cena versus Jason Jordan with John Cena with Roman Reigns versus Jason Jordan, I think this one is better than the one the week before.
Yes.
This one is loads better. I'm not saying that it's because of the age of John Cena or the experience of John Cena against Roman Reigns' own raw talent and physicality. Just that this one looks better.
More action.
Yeah, more action because you don't really have the pace. You don't really have the rest time. You don't really have a lot of rest times, as you can see.
No, there was more. It was fast paced. It was faster paced than the match with John Cena.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which leads to a question: Has John lost a step?
I would say no.
Because even the matches that Reigns had with Strowman were faster paced than the match that Cena had with Strowman.
Oh yeah, I agree. And you don't really see Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman using a prop, for example, like a chair on most of their matches. Because sometimes it's going to be a straight up fist fight. Sometimes it's going to be a straight up disqualification match where Strowman throws a chair at Roman Reigns just as he was about to do a drive-by. But on the match with Strowman and John Cena, immediately at the end of the match, Strowman pulls out the stairs and slams Cena on it. So that could be seen as a sign that WWE is trying to protect Roman Reigns. That could be seen as one sign, but
protect Roman Reigns or protect John Cena.
I think protect John Cena because
that's what I'm thinking because he didn't pin Strowman. Roman has pinned Strowman prior to the big feud that they had.
Yes, agreed.
Okay, Cena has never pinned Strowman.
Oh no.
So
I think this week is their first match together. I think against each other.
Yeah, and they do a dusty finish with the disqualification using the stairs in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Power slam into the stairs. Okay, that's fine.
I mean,
but why are they protecting John Cena from Strowman like that? For what reason? To make him look stronger than Roman going into No Mercy? That doesn't make sense.
That doesn't really make sense because here's the thing: when you get slammed on that stair, storyline wise, you'd get injured a little bit, and John Cena could get a knock. And going into No Mercy, John Cena injured versus a healthy Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
That's not a way to sell your big match, basically. So I believe, but still, again, I believe
booking somewhere that we're not seeing.
There's something there that isn't really tied up yet. There's some strings that are left untied for this one. There's a lot of jumps because my assumption is that just to protect John Cena so that he can pace himself better for his match at No Mercy with Roman Reigns. But then again, that brought me to another question. Doesn't that mean that he's no selling Braun Strowman's stair slam? There's a lot of questions because when you answer that question and when you answer this one question, the other question comes up. There's a lot of strings that you can't
there's a lot of threads that are hanging out there in the wind.
Yeah.
And it's not computing.
It's not.
What is the logic? What is the logic behind the
for the first time, people, WWE seems to want to have logic in their booking, and we can't seem to tie up their loose ends. It's so funny indeed. But yeah, I mean, not to knock on John Cena or anything. It's just that it leaves us questioning a lot on what's the path that they're going to take.
Yeah.
But then again, doesn't really discount the fact that Raw this week was wonderful. Raw this week was awesome. So there's that. It was great. And surprisingly, SmackDown followed suit with wow.
They're
The
finally
return of Mr. McMahon to SmackDown Live.
oof.
Wow.
What a night that was.
Mm-hmm. It's stunning. So shocking. On a special Sin City episode of the Blue Brand.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Kevin Owens coming out of the open talking about what he's going to do with the firing of Sami Zayn, making Daniel Bryan a janitor, talking to Aiden English about the theme song of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Owens is. I think Owens was at his ranting best there, threatening everyone. Fire Sami Zayn, announcers consistent suit wearing, cancel fashion files.
oh God, did you hear did you see the heat he got for that?
Yep. Just shows how over the fashion files was and
not so much was how over fashion files is.
Yes, okay. Correct my grammar on that one. Yes, how over the fashion files is, and how much heat would Kevin Owens get when he threatens to cancel the fashion file? Wow.
Oof.
It was it was a lot of kind of this was Owens ranting, much better than Owens actually cutting people verbally last week, harsh words. My goodness, that one made us pull
all
back.
Cringe. Made us all cringe.
This one got us entertained because he was ranting. He was running off.
You could actually see the facade cracking and the insanity in his eyes of what, you know.
He's getting unstable.
Yes, very much.
He's very unstable. I mean, it was fun, but to me, I think it's just a sneak peek of the night's main promo, which, not on a knock on both of them, it was wonderful as well. Where at the end, let's just jump in on that one, where at the end of the main event, of course, where Vince McMahon comes back on SmackDown Live. Congratulations, 72-year-old guy coming back to SmackDown.
First time in 4 years.
Yep, first time in 4 years, confronting Kevin Owens. Well,
which I loved because of the way it started. He says, you know, he basically gets to the point and says, fine, the minute, you know, talks about how many lawsuits he's been involved with, which is true, how many he's lost, which was 0, which is true. But the one thing that really worked in that promo was, when I get served with the paperwork, I hope you're in your attorney's office and on speakerphone when I say, Kevin Owens, you're fired.
Wow.
And the look on Kevin's face was like, what? And then the whole thing about, you know, a B in Vince's name means billionaire, but there will be a B involved with your name, which will mean bankrupt.
Wow.
And if you think about it, you know, WWE as a corporation and as a whole has a huge team of legal folks.
Has to.
And
it's a publicly traded company.
Companies that are publicly traded and big like WWE can make a lawsuit last 3, 4, 5, 10 years.
Agreed.
Before it gets to the courts.
Agreed. I mean, not going to discount. Not going to discount the.
He's speaking truth.
Yep. Not going to discount the CTE concussion lawsuit that they're getting. Number one. Remember the CM Punk lawsuit against Dr. Chris Amon? That was lasting up until now, I believe.
Yeah, I think they finally settled that.
Outside of the court? Probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a lot of what he does. Is he settles a lot of stuff outside the court because he makes it so difficult. And he settles it on pennies on the dollar.
Yes.
Because he wears his the plaintiffs down. He uses a system. Can't fault the man for that.
Yep, sure.
I mean, Jesus, he beat federal charges of trafficking in steroids.
Yes.
At one point.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. And he's had several lawsuits that go against him be overturned, number one, or settled off court, number two. There's a lot of things. But coming back to this, my goodness, Kevin Owens selling off that one was a shock, number one. And number two, when McMahon reinstated Shane McMahon back again onto the SmackDown Live group and sounding off that the commissioner himself will battle Owens inside Hell in a Cell,
Ooh, that's gonna be a good match.
You could see Kevin Owens' face literally drop.
Yep.
This is not what he wanted. This is not what he wanted.
Nope.
But then you see a little bit small turn when Owens demanded McMahon that a promise that he won't be fired when Owens beats Shane senseless in the paper.
No. He did not say Shane. He says that I will not be fired when I beat a McMahon senseless.
Okay.
And everybody assumed that Shane was his target.
Okay.
Little did we know it was Vince.
Yes. Owen shook the boss hand and then gave a headbutt.
Hence part of the title of Kidney Stones and Headbutting Your Ball.
I sent you a link. I sent you a link on Botch Spot, remember? The one that one. I mean, let me rephrase what I said about it. I mean, what was it again? What was it? Let's see. It was Vince and an actor proving these naysayers, doctors, and scientists wrong about CTE and concussion not being related to one another, challenged himself to get himself cut and head-butted by Kevin Owens, looking good like the genetic jackhammer that he is and looking dandy, and therefore winning the proverbial battle. This is the reason why he wants to take the headbutt.
Yep.
Which probably could be true. Who knows?
I wouldn't put it past him, but it's a stretch. Like we said, it's a long stretch because it's already scientifically proven that CTE and concussions are related.
Correct. It does, but come on. I mean...
Which leads us to Baron Corbin and the stuff that's on...
Botch Spot?
Which is on the interweb about him. More and more information seems to be coming out as to why his Money in the Bank cash-in was as botched as it was.
Well, yeah, I've heard about...
Also now it's leaked that there's a possibility he's involved with the NFL CTE lawsuit.
Yes.
Looking to get paid.
Yeah, I've heard about the rumor about it, though. Yeah. I mean... Yeah, because
here's a guy who played. Here's a guy who played in the NFL for what 3 years, and 2 years of it he was on the practice squad.
Yep, he is. He was in. I think he was in the combine too, for that matter, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, he was part of the NFL when NFL was doing the concussion lawsuit against.
It's still going on, which is still ongoing.
It's just still ongoing, yes, and apparently Baron Corbin was for NFL doing the lawsuit against NXT with against WWE with a concussion. He was one of the supporters of it, and he was one of the most. He was the one who voiced out his opinions on it to Dr. Maroon, one of the chief doctors in WWE, who denied that concussion and CTE unrelated in the sports of WWE, sports entertainment, that is WWE. And Baron Corbin denied it, saying that, oh, it's happening. It's the same. It's happened. It can happen to even wrestlers with unprotected headshots and all that kind of stuff.
Well, look at Chris Benoit.
Yes. Or for number one, yes. One very good case is Chris Benoit, and plus others, I think, on the lawsuit. So yeah.
Snuka was another one. I think that, his dementia was brought on by the concussions he suffered, and the major one he suffered was the busting of the coconut on his head by Roddy Piper.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
he was never really the same wrestler after that.
Yeah, true.
Look at his career.
Mm-hmm. Because a lot of coconut shots, a lot of the nut shots to the head really can't do anything. It really cannot do anything harm, but unfortunately it does. And Baron Corbin was one of the biggest detractors of it, and therefore this is his punishment: getting his Money in the Bank, getting his Money in the Bank contract screwed up and lost, as well as losing to John Cena again. So there's that.
Yeah. So,
Don't if it happens, then okay, fine. I think that's probably the logic. I think that's probably the logical way. But then again, Baron Corbin is serving his. If that's the case, then Baron Corbin is serving his time pretty well. Doesn't really look like he's getting punished. He's just taking a step back, or getting someone to pull off the carpet off from his feet for a moment, and then he just dusts himself back up again.
and the problem is that he brought it on himself.
Oh yeah, number 2 for being outspoken. But and again,
He knows the thing about Baron Corbin is he doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut.
it's good to be vocal. It's good to be opinionated, but like I said, there's a time and a place for everything.
Yep.
I mean, in a meeting with WWE officials and higher ups, as well as big people who are fighting against the former company that you have been in, not a good place to go through, Corbin, even though you disagree on that one. So, yeah.
Right.
But anyway, for the first time, Taker, you're going to be happy about this. We see color.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa. Wait a minute.
Color.
I thought it, but then I looked at it again because I watched the replay that they showed.
Mm-hmm.
That was not a normal headbutt. That was an actual true headbutt. So, yeah.
Yes.
Vince being busted open like that is legit. That's legit because there was no thumb. Usually they headbutt their thumb on the head.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And there was nothing there. It was a complete unprotected headbutt.
Mm-hmm. Rumor has
along the lines of what Jack Gallagher uses, but his is more on the neck and shoulder area.
Oh, that one was weapons to the back and shoulder. So there's that. But we'll get to that quickly as soon as we wrap up on this one. Rumor has it that McMahon cut himself beforehand before the headbutt, but who knows?
That's possible.
That's possible, but yes, the headbutt was real. The headbutt was really, really real.
Yeah,
I mean, I was watching it and I was like, "Oh, that's a hard shot to the head." My God.
What I liked though, at the very end. Yes, Vince is 72 years old.
Yes. Okay.
And Vince took his ass kicking like he's done in the past. I'm sure he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But who came down the ramp at the end?
Stephanie McMahon, actually.
Right, and all she did was and I mean, that woman, I don't care. Mm-hmm. She can sell anger better than anybody.
Of course.
And I mean, I was expecting her to slap the taste out of his mouth.
Oh no.
And she didn't do anything. She just looked at him.
How could she? Because she's not on SmackDown officially.
Yeah, but she's officially not on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But that's her dad.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that adds
family things like that could override all of it.
Everything. Yes.
Because I don't know if she knew or not. I tend to believe she didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is Vince. He'll keep secrets.
Yes. I mean, especially regarding business. Especially regarding business.
This was business.
This was business. And yeah, I believe
look at the fuel. You look at the fuel. Remember now. Go back almost 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Shane made his return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jay, I don't know who this guy is. I got to look him up. I don't know who Shane McMahon is. I got to look him up.
Why is he dancing? Why is he dancing?
Who is this guy? Why is he dancing? McMahon? What is it? Vince got a son? I got to look this up. Anyway. Now, and, yes, Shane lost the match to Undertaker at WrestleMania in Hell in a Cell. Okay. Shane was supposed to go away.
Yep.
The crowd, which we all knew was a line of shit, but the crowd was able to get Shane to stay, quote unquote.
Okay.
Kayfabe, the crowd did it. Now, suddenly, Vince is in Shane's corner. He is no longer playing favorites with with Stephanie.
Mhm.
He's like treating his children the same. Now.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. I
And
could see.
this, Shane being noticeably absent from SmackDown this week will be, next week we'll see Shane back. He'll go into the ring. He's going to cut a promo about what Kevin Owens did to his father. And that's going to be the fuel for Shane going to Hell in a Cell. You did this to my dad. You attacked my father. You did, and that's going to be his motivation to basically kill. And we might see Shane go over Kevin at Hell in a Cell.
Ooh.
That's my prediction.
Okay. Even though it would cause an uproar to the community by them decrying the fact that another McMahon just won over an actual wrestler or something like that.
But the thing about it is,
Mhm.
is it going to be an actual wrestling match or is it going to be a fight? Or with it being at Hell in a Cell, do you think with Shane? And we know that in the past, Shane has bled in the cell.
Yes.
Will we see color in that match? Because we know
Definitely.
Kevin Owens can bleed like a stuck hog.
Yep. I've seen that.
So have I.
I've seen that match. I've seen a few of his matches that he bled like a stuck pig.
Yes.
There's that.
So I expect that match to show color.
I mean, that match is not going to be a wrestling match. That match is going to be a fight. Full-on fight.
And yeah.
Full-on fight indeed. I mean, that's one of the highest spots on SmackDown that I know. And other than that, yes, we have a new champion, a new tag team champions.
The New Day.
The New Day gets the new champions back again. Okay. I'm fine with it. I'm not gonna decry anything on it, but just that nowadays, the only question that I have on that one was, would the New Day's victory mean that the Usos are entitled to a rematch again? Because for the love of God, please don't let it happen again.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as the Usos and the New Day have proven again and again and again that they can actually bring an awesome match together, we need new fresh input. We need new fresh tag teams to come in, even though there's not really.
Well, the Revival's still on the shelf.
Number one, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan is still on the shelf, collecting dust.
Who's injured in that group? Nobody. They just haven't gotten anything.
Yep. Who else? The Ascension is there. Still collecting dust as well, although they have been used last week. The new tag teams, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin.
That is gonna be. I see great things for that tag team.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this week
Shelton Benjamin now versus a Shelton Benjamin that left 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's a much more accomplished wrestler, and he is one of those that, if you look at his style now versus back then, he's working smarter, not harder.
Yep, I agree. I mean, Shelton Benjamin previously is a lot more reckless, I think, in his decision making when he's picking his spots. Nowadays, he's more calculated. He's more, okay, what's the risk? What's
risk versus reward.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was trying.
Can I get the same pop if I do this instead of this?
Exactly.
And right now, whatever he does, he gets pops from hell because he's just now back. He's the new shiny thing.
Yep. And he looks like he hasn't lost a step or two, even for his age.
Mm-mm.
That's surprising to me.
He's coming off of shoulder surgery.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the more good solid matches on SmackDown, and it also brought up the Hype Bros back again, and it also brought up a nice story backstory a little bit to the Hype Bros, because you see Zack Ryder.
Yeah, you see Mojo shaking hands with them, and Zack Ryder just turning his back and walking out.
Yep. Just frustrated, looking pissed off. I mean, that development was kind of like a first hand of a Zack Ryder heel turn since like forever. It's like, wow, it has been like forever since we've seen Zack Ryder in a heel mode, considering Edgeheads. And that was like, what, a decade ago?
Something like that.
Something like that, right? So, yeah. I mean, I think in months past, it appeared as if Raleigh would be turning because we've seen that Mojo had done a little bit of promos. Looks like he could turn against Zack Ryder, but okay. Quick change of heart, quick change of plans by WWE Creative. Maybe Zack Ryder gets the heel turn. Okay. Frustrated veteran constantly seeking victories he rarely gets. Makes sense to me. It makes sense because he just come back from an injury. He just came back from an injury. He wanted to win. He didn't get a win. He's pissed. So yeah, it could be a great story on that one. All in all, the week was solid even for SmackDown. Except there's just a few little bits dropped off points, I believe. And to me, I think I think the segment between Dolph Ziggler to this week is kind of entertaining. It begged for an interruption at some point, but it underwhelmed a little bit. But all in all, the week, SmackDown week was awesome. SmackDown week wasn't well. Awesome is a stretch. Great. It was great. They pulled off a second week of great show. So there's that.
Yes, that's true.
I mean, it has been a second week for SmackDown to pull off another good show, rather than the dearth of long stuff that we've watched.
Well, what they've done though is they took that little bit of success they had last week, the previous week, and they built on it.
Yeah, agreed.
Same thing that run. They finally have found a way. Let's just hope. There's supposed to be a shakeup coming, but I haven't seen anything.
Yep, it should have been, but I think they're gonna hold it off for a bit. I believe they're gonna hold it off.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
that would be smart.
That would definitely be. It's a smart move for all, I believe. So, I did hear you segueing a little bit to Jack Gallagher, whacking someone on the neck and shoulders. That was a surprising turn, right?
Surprising.
We didn't really.
I didn't see 205 live, but I heard that he's turned heel.
Yeah. Yes.
I kind of had a feeling he was going to, and I had said as much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay. Just a quick run up to 205 live. If you haven't really watched it, they only had 2 matches this week because of the Mae Young Classic Finale. So they only had 2 instead of the usual 3 that we have usually. Okay. The matchup against both matches were good. Rich Swann versus TJP. That was good. Not really going to comment on that one.
Who went over is the question.
Who went over? Swann picked up the win with a beautiful Phoenix splash, by the way.
So the 2 out of 3 short miniseries is over.
Is over, yes. Rubber match. I think rubber match. Rich Swann picked up the win for this one. It was pretty much a fast-paced affair. As always, you see for the cruiserweights. It was fun. It was fast-paced. TJP looked upset with the loss, but he chose to kind of like reluctantly shake his friend's hand because, well, that's one. And then there's an appearance by Fashion Police where Drew Gulak actually came out to challenge Tozawa to a rematch, but since Tozawa wasn't there, he decided to go through the rest of the PowerPoint presentation from last week. He actually pulled out a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation in a WWE ring. Since when have you seen that?
I have got to go watch this.
Since when have you seen the last time someone used a PowerPoint presentation in a WWE ring? He only got through 3 slides, however.
Never.
Never. He only got through 3 slides, however. He was interrupted by both Breeze and Fandango. They continued the joke of calling Drew Gulak Captain Underpants. I have no idea why, but okay.
Well,
It's
thank Enzo for that.
yes, but
But look at his
Daisy.
trunks, for Christ's sake.
Yes, I know. But okay, Fashion Police came out saying that Drew Gulak is doing a serious offense by wearing underpants. They end up putting Gulak in a pair of furry handcuffs and then dragged him back. So after a brief chase around the ring, comedic, sure, yeah. How did comedic? Yes, it works. It serves its purpose for entertaining us for a bit before the main event with Brian Kendrick versus Cedric Alexander. Uh, veteran versus upstart. With Kendrick's veteran experience giving him the edge, but Alexander's agility often always comes out on top. The match only lasted for a few minutes before interruption by Gallagher coming in with his umbrella. He looked like he wanted to deck Kendrick, but ended up decking Alexander. The show ended. That match ended with Gallagher shaking hands with Kendrick and then just staring into the camera. And that's our 205 live for this week.
Wow.
Oh, surprising.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting and surprising. We might need to tune to next week's 205 Live to hear what's Gallagher's motive with siding with Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, what does that know? What's his reasons?
Yes. And kudos and props to Kendrick for being an excellent veteran that he is. He knows his craft at using the ring itself to hurt his opponents. I mean, the creativity in him to kind of like dish out damage with the ring in the process. It's kind of like an art in and of itself. The only thing that I find amusing is that if Gallagher wants to be taken seriously as a heel, you might want to throw away the striped trunks, buddy.
He'll probably have a change next week.
Probably an all black trunks.
Something
like Neville. Who knows?
Something.
Yeah. And 205 Live. 205 Live was short, but it was solid.
Okay. And that moves us along to NXT.
Rumbling on NXT on that side.
Why are you grumbling?
No, I'm not grumbling for the bad thing that happened on NXT. It's just wow. One surprising point was this, where with the women's matchup, where Ruby Riott supposedly did not follow William Regal's instructions to find a partner and came out without a partner and went in with her match against Peyton Royce and Billie Kay via a handicap match.
Okay.
And here's my question. Shouldn't that be called as an automatic disqualification in and all of itself? Because Ruby Riott did not follow the rules stipulated by William Regal himself. That's not a sanctioned match. That's not a sanctioned match.
Should have. But this is. You're asking. Well, I'm surprised that it went that way because we both know that NXT is logical.
Exactly. And
that's against everything.
That's against everything. NXT.
But there has to be more involved. There's got to be more to the story.
Yes, there was. Fortunately, because of course, given the history of the iconic duo and since that it was a handicap match, Ruby Riott was quickly overpowered with the numbers game. It wasn't until the appearance of one Nikki Cross, however, that turned the tables altogether. She was watching around the ring. She was watching the matchup around the ring. She was just looking, and then suddenly she wanted to tag herself in. She just slapped Ruby Riott on the chest, tagging herself in, and then whipped both Peyton Royce and Billie Kay's asses, and then lay them out on the mat, tags Ruby Riott back in, lets Ruby Riott win, leaving Ruby Riott with a very, very confused look on her face. What just happened?
Yeah, that was interesting to say the least. But
mm-hmm.
Is it something? Is the armor that the cocoon that is sanity breaking down?
Oh no! I don't see Sanity here
Is
breaking down.
Eric Young losing his control over Ruby Riot, or not over? Over Nikki Cross.
No, I don't think so. Here's the thing. Uh, much like Sanity's inexplicable babyface turn back at Brooklyn, I think this is another way of saying that, oh, Sanity and to an extent, Nikki Cross is a face now. Motivation is not really seen. There's kind of like, why are you face? The big question of why are you turning face is not there yet. Not there yet.
But the thing about it is, what does Sanity advocate?
Chaos, disorder.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. A heel team turning face suddenly can create chaos and disorder.
True, but then you have to remember that there's another faction that is actually causing chaos and disorder this week on NXT. Do you want to know who?
I know who. Your favorite guy.
Wait a minute. He's not my favorite guy. Get out of here.
Adam Cole.
Well, okay.
I'm not going to say the rest because I know it. No. It's a fine. It's a fine. I won't do it here.
I got the cup right here. Got the cup right here.
It's Bobby Fish and who else?
Kyle O'Reilly.
Yes.
Yes. Surprisingly, they're actually marketed as being the undisputed era, I believe. And I have to say, just by a quick glance on that one, the shirt that they're selling is actually quite cool because the logo itself comprised of Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly's first letter designed in such a way that it combined to become that logo. If you can see, there's a C, and then there's an F, and then there's an O, standing with Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly. It's cool. But the Undisputed Era, or just the Undisputed, Chris Jericho would like to have a word with you, sir.
They just made the list.
They just made the list.
Now, wouldn't that be hilarious?
It could be.
In the next few weeks, all of a sudden, Jericho makes an appearance on NXT with his clipboard. Those three are in the ring. He goes, you know what happens to people who claim something that they're not?
You know what happens?
He pulls the pen out and he goes, you just made the list. And he starts, and the three of them jump out of the ring and beat the shit out of him.
Yes. I was just going to, it could gain more heat. I mean, this surprising that this happened just as Pete Dunne, WWE United Kingdom champion, faces off against Wolfgang, the last king of Scotland. These two pulled on quite a match that featured a lot of British wrestling, catch wrestling, and all that, and very slow, very methodical paced. It's a wonderful match.
It's an old school match.
It's an old school match, and nitpicking aside that Wolfgang actually had a better match with Tyler Bate in the United Kingdom tournament, this was still enjoyable and still hard hitting. I mean, it still cemented Dunn's status as the baddest man in this particular division.
Right.
But then again, when Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly striked Wolfgang when just as Dunn was leaving the ring, he came back and just
grabbed his belt and ran.
Grabbed his belt and then just cut it away. I mean,
well, they jumped Dunn first.
Yes, they jumped Dunn
first. Wolfgang came to his rescue. Mm-hmm. Pete Dunne rolled out of the ring and then rolled back in the ring. We thought the crowd thought
he's going to help
Wolfgang. Mm-hmm. No, all he did was grab his belt and leave.
Yeah, just cementing his status as he's just bad. He just don't care.
He don't give a shit. Yeah, he don't give a shit.
He don't care. And also create a lot of questions. What's actually these trio of ROH Ring of Honor alumni's motives? Are they actually creating a small pseudo invasion? Are they just gonna here just because they wanted to make the name for themselves, or they're just here just to cause like I said, create chaos, disorder against the stability and order that is NXT? It's a lot of questions.
Yeah, and why do I get the feeling that eventually Steven Regal is going to turn it over to Trips to handle?
Interesting.
Because they're building to something, and it's probably going to be at Houston.
True, true. And these trio looked at. Remember, Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly hasn't really pulled off any promo yet.
No,
They haven't really stated their intentions. They haven't stated their motives yet. They haven't. They just interjected into matches, beat people down, and then just
kind
leave
of
it at that.
kind of NWO-ish.
Mm-hmm. Kind of. Actually surprising, yeah, when you pull it like that. Yeah. They're the outsiders looking in, number one. And number two, they're from the independent scene. They're literally the outsiders. And now they're in. They want to cause a scene.
Mhm.
Interesting. It does sound NWO-ish. But I mean, I'm still into it. But at this point, I need motives. I need intentions. I need a story on this. Why are you here?
Well, that was the thing with NWO. You never, until they had the match and until Hogan was shown as the third person, we did not know what their intentions were.
Yeah. Do you think this is NXT booking as
what's old is new again?
Yeah.
How many years has it been?
I think it's 20 plus years. Hell, even 30.
No, it was in the mid to late 90s.
So, okay. 20 years, 20 plus years, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they could bring that one up. I mean, it's an interesting thought it's an interesting story to tell. But considering that they're already running a trio, what's their motive then? I mean, we've seen Bobby Fish being debuted once, and then Kyle O'Reilly being debuted again. Then these two pair up, and then at the current takeover, and then Adam Cole made his appearance when he beat up Drew Galloway for the after the NXT Championship. So yeah, it could make a statement. I don't know, because we thought that they were targeting Drew Galloway, but no, they're not just targeting Drew Galloway. They're targeting even the UK Championship.
Yeah, they're targeting Sanity.
Mm-hmm. And they targeted Sanity. Yes. And yes, they targeted Sanity. Correct. Basically, they're kind of putting NXT on notice.
They have targeted all three major titles for the men.
Oh yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Now, here's an idea.
Okay.
Who has a long history of independent wrestling that is female?
It crossed my other.
Mercedes Martinez.
Okay.
Add her to the group.
Oh no. You're going to build a stable of independent wrestlers, aren't you?
Yeah. How cool would that be?
Well, okay.
That's just something that hit me just now. Because I said they targeted all three male titles.
Yeah. But we haven't seen any action come out for the women's titles yet.
No. Maybe Mercedes is signed and they're waiting for the right moment. And what a perfect place to do it, but at TakeOver Houston, after Kairi Sane and in the Fatal 4-Way is crowned a champion, yet she comes out and knocks Kairi Sane to hell out. And all of a sudden, out walk Fish and O'Reilly and Cole, and she walks up to them and shakes their hands. Hence the faction. They could change it from undisputed to the independents.
Where's my drill bucket?
That's brilliant booking, if I do say so myself.
I agree. It's intriguing booking. I mean, even if you don't really state what's your intention, Mercedes Martinez debuting there, if she's signed, and she decks whoever wins the NXT Women's Championship, and then the trio shows up and states their point. wow, that could be a massive statement of intent. That could have massive implications. Who knows? Yeah.
And that could turn around and solidify the face turn of Sanity at the same time.
Oh, that's true. If they could, if they could do that, wow. Like I said, give me another Drew bucket, buddy. Give me another Drew bucket for that one. Yeah, it's an intriguing prospect. Yeah, but let's not forget. Talking about Sanity and the tag team prospects, we've seen another prospect showing good promise between the Street Profits versus the Ely Brothers. On my notes, I wrote, Ely Brothers looks like a watered-down version of Harlem Heat.
Yep, I saw the similarities.
Mm-hmm. They look like a watered-down version of Harlem Heat, for one. Street Profits look like a watered-down version of Crime Time. To me, that is. To me. But clearly,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, clearly, if you see Street Profits, they're putting the money more on Montez Ford rather than Angelo Dawkins.
Yep.
Yeah, because you can definitely see that he's the more fresher, the more athletic of the two, while Angelo Dawkins looks like he's carrying just with Montez Ford along for the ride. So there's that.
Yeah.
But and it was a fun match.
But both of them are making it work.
Yes.
It takes both of them for Street Profits to work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Angelo Dawkins just can't seem to get any traction as a singles wrestler. He's now getting traction in the tag team division.
Agree. And what good time it is for promoting, if you want to go call and say promoting Dusty Rhodes Classic for tag team classics. Who knows? Yeah. By reintroducing fresh talents like the Ely Brothers and the Street Profits. I'm already sold on the plastic cup. I'm already sold on a red plastic cup already. So
yeah, the solo cup.
Yeah, I mean, if WWE actually sells that, I mean, what?
They do. They do. I believe it's available at the WWE shop.
Oh God.
Let me check. I'll look.
No. Let's just get on with it. I'll trust you on that one if they're marketing. If they can market a unicorn horn that looks like a penis, yes, they can market a red plastic cup.
No, it's black now with gold lettering on it.
Okay. So fair enough because it's their colors. So okay. That's a solid match in and of itself. Fun because we got serious matchups between, say, Johnny Gargano and Riddick Moss, number one, and we've also gotten the already spoken of Ruby Riott versus the Iconic Duo with the interference of Nikki Cross. That also looks like serious and intriguing in all of itself.
But technically, it's not interference because in the end, Ruby Riott met the requirements of Stegan Regal.
Yep.
Even though it was a partner that no one would have seen.
Yep. Actually, that's true. And it's surprising to see Nikki Cross somehow. Okay, this looks fun. I'm gonna tag myself in and then just whoop these two girls' asses and then just come back out. You can take the pin. Don't know the motives yet. Hopefully, we could know the motives later. Who knows? So there's that. And the intriguing storyline for a singles wrestler is Johnny Gargano. His story has been one of the more engaging ones in NXT. Betrayed by his partner, Tommaso Ciampa, who Sal hates, I think. I still think that Sal hates still. Consistently facing doubts about his own abilities because you see the match between him and Andrade Almas back in NXT TakeOver, back in the last one, where Zelina Vega threw a shirt of DIY into the ring and Gargano just lost it. He just looks lost. He just chokes. He's through the match, basically. Here in this match, you see halfway when he was looking like he's not getting the upper hand that he needed. He looked lost. He got back. He got so lost. He got so mad about it because Moss worked him very early. Uses his strength and size against Gargano, and then Gargano fired back, tried to fight back, stunned that his finisher didn't work, but then delivered another finishing move, a slingshot spear, to score the victory. And he looks like he needed that shot in the arm for that one. He looks like he needed the win, and he sold that expression that he needed the win very well.
Yeah, that he did.
I mean, his story is intriguing to me because he's betrayed by his partner, always been known as the DIY and the one who Tommaso Ciampa just brings up just to kick himself back up again. And he's trying to pick himself up back again by being a singles wrestler, because originally he was in the CWC, and his own lack of confidence almost cost him here. So at least he fought back, caught Moss with a spear, and scored the win. And it looks like I said, he sold it very well. He sold that he needed the win very well. So that was storytelling. I think that was storytelling, wrestling story, and that was wonderful.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
And what's I'm surprised Sabatelli's still involved in this.
I'm surprised Riddick Moss is still involved in this one.
Because Sabatelli has a penchant for concussions.
Oh, yeah. Agreed. Didn't last time he was out for a concussion as well?
Yeah, his second one.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the reason why he was kept out, and we pushed, NXT pushed with Gargano fighting against Riddick Moss. I think but that's just me reaching. So there's that. All in all, yeah. But again, all in all, solid. I think it's an improvement to last week's humdrum NXT involvement that actually just featured the main event with Asuka relinquishing the title. So
and they did a video package again of Asuka.
Once is enough. Last week was enough. You don't really need to rehash it out again, I think.
No.
But that's just me. That is me.
I would agree with that, but perhaps people missed it or whatever, so they wanted to do the video. They're gonna try to keep her
relevant.
No, they're gonna try to keep her legacy alive as long as possible.
Yeah, considering that she has created history.
Right, and that's the thing. Whoever takes the title next has got to live up to that, and that's going to be
any one of the preferred four. Peyton, Ember Moon, Kairi Sane, and the last one of the Fatal Four, who's not decided yet. Probably will be decided next week. All in all, that was the week that was wrestling for WWE. It was pretty much fun.
Yes, it was.
It was fun. It was enjoyable. Like we said, I think WWE has fallen into a path where they're slowly getting their act together quite right. So there's that.
Finally.
Yeah. Hopefully they could continue on next week, and hopefully we'll have more stuff to talk about it next week then.
Yep, that sounds like an idea. That sounds like a plan. I always look forward to these days.
Yep. There's always a lot to talk about, even if it's just us just talking about stuff. So there's that.
Yeah, kidney stones included.
Hopefully you don't get kidney stones next week as well.
No. I like I said, I think it's pretty much done. Thank God.
Yep. I mean, we'd like to talk.
I almost went to the hospital both Saturday and Sunday.
Whoa.
That's how bad it was.
Whoa, okay. At least you turned out.
Mrs. Taker, a.k.a. Legends Lover, first of all, says hi. And then she also wanted to take me both those days, and I told her no.
Okay. It's quick. I would like to say a quick recap on Mae Young Classic just before we wrap up. I mean,
sure.
To me, Mae Young Classic is proof that WWE must create more tournaments like this in the ilk. They have done it successfully with the Cruiserweight Classic. They've done it wonderfully with the Mae Young Classic. Why not do it again?
Well, then don't forget, you can't count out the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team. You can't take out the Tag Team Classic. No, the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. That was the first one they did. And it was great.
Yeah. But yeah, Why not? Like I said, why not? Because they're already getting goodwill. They're already getting good press. They're already getting excellent press, actually, with the Mae Young Classic that has happened, that has finished, that's wrapped up. Why not continuing more of it? Because a lot of people say that they wanted to see more kinds of events like this. The format style, the presentation, the narratives. I mean, even
And hell, include some of the main roster talent in the next one.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, you take a look back at NYC if you just analyze it a little bit on a show by show basis. I mean, these tournaments like these are the ideal entry points for new fans. I mean, premise is simple, format is easy to digest, and you know each and every one of these girls' backstories, even though there's 32 women competing in the NYC. You know exactly where
they researched everybody. They had a complete bio on them, what kind of style they were in the ring, what their finisher was, their age, their ages, their heights, their everything. I mean, this was done brilliantly. Hats off Triple H and Steph. Hats off to you both for that. I mean, that you know.
I mean, this kind of introductions, this kind of efficient intros, and who's this fighter, who's this fighter on the tourney. Even in CWC, we already seen that in CWC and UK, in the UK tournament as well as the NYC. I think NYC highlights this excellently. I mean, we've seen veterans like Jazzy Gabert, and this is a new face for us. At one point, we don't really know who Jazzy Gabert is until she came into the Mae Young Classic, and the information coming out from it is excellent. I mean,
here's the thing, I didn't know who Jazzy Gabert was. I didn't know who Mercedes Martinez was. There's two women I've never seen in my life. It's what it did is it made me go onto YouTube and other video formats to find their matches.
Yep.
And look at them and just go, Jesus, where the hell have these guys been? And Triple H said it best.
Yeah.
They initially thought, oh, we're going to find maybe 16.
Yep.
They had to cut it off at 32. They could have had more.
Agreed. They could have had more. They could have had 64 even.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why not do it again? I mean, it doesn't have to be an annual show. You don't have to do this every single year. Probably something that arrives every other year if you want to cut costs or even.
Ooh, that's an idea. Do 1 year Dusty Tag Team Classic, another year Mae Young, and just alternate.
Alternate, yes, exactly. I mean, it would be fantastic to see women like Gabert or Tessa Blanchard coming in back again, likely to redeem their early exits from this Mae Young Classic. And then think of the talent that could come in for the next Mae Young Classic. Jessica Havoc could make her mark on the Mae Young Classic. Io Shirai, another name that we've always been talking about. She could come in. Why not Ivelisse Velez from Lucha Underground? She could come in too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity. I mean, they should expand.
One person don't come in, Sexy Star.
I should agree.
At one point I liked her, and now I'm like, with all the shit that's going on with her down in that other cockroach
that won't die. I think
AAA,
no. You can keep Sexy Star.
Yeah.
As
her
much
not really in it anymore.
I don't know whether her heart's not into it or it's forced from her hand. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are commenting that she's just a bad egg. She's just this and that. I mean, once she has been a good wrestler until this moment in time.
Yeah.
Where she's absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, we should wrap this up.
Yeah, we should. And yes, WWE, if you're listening, please do something like this again. We love it. As for a new fan of women's wrestling coming in, I love it. So I'd love to see more of it. So there's that.
Now the only thing left to do is to give the women their own show and own division that, they're all tied up in one night little pile. Could you handle a WWE show 2 hours in length every week? Just women? I could.
Actually, I could. I could forego Raw, SmackDown just to watch women. And not because of obvious reasons. It's just that because that they're so good.
They are real, you know, they're finally being wrestlers again, not eye candy.
Yes. And that's our point. We want to see women wrestler. We want to see women wrestling. Not women being eye candy, not women being the side piece for another male wrestler. Just show to us that women can wrestle and sometimes can wrestle even better than men. So there's that. Anyway.
Yep. Anyway, this has been Shootin' Debris. Where can they find you there, MDS?
They can find me on Twitter at BeckyGotBank666. They can also find me at Cage Side Seats, where I usually hang out in the daily as well as the nightly. Mostly on the daily, not so much as in. Flip that. Not mostly on the nightly, not so much in the daily, but I usually try and be available on both. Where can they catch you, Taker?
They can find me at Takers_Minion on Twitter. Also here on Shootin' Debris every Friday at 10 a.m. Central. You can catch me on Cage Side Seats as well, mainly in the nightly. Have been in the daily a little bit, not as much as I would like to. I need to start doing it more. And, you know, don't forget the shows that we promote here, which tonight we have Two Guys, One Sport. And I think they come on at what, 8 o'clock Eastern time?
8 o'clock or 9 o'clock Eastern time, I believe.
9 o'clock Eastern time, 8 o'clock Central time.
Yes.
Wizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling, which is taking a hiatus this week.
Yep, because of the hosts.
Because the hosts having scheduling issues.
Yep. And don't forget, Two Guys, One Sport is run by Crazy Chris as well as Curtain Jerker.
Yes, two great guys that are friends of our show, as are
and very knowledgeable.
Yes, very. As well as Fitzpatrick 14 and Sal Cusimano are friends of the show. Don't forget Not Your Demographic.
Yes, don't forget Not Your Demographic, keeping up with the kayfabe as well as Rudo Radio. Affiliated shows on Cage Side Seats. Of course, we also promote our friends on Freaky Friday, as I would like to call it, on those 3-pack shows. Us, Two Guys, One Sport, as well as Fizzy's Wacky World of Wrestling. So there's that.
All righty. And it's once again been a pleasure to talk with you there, MDS, and I look forward to next week.
It's been a pleasure talking to you too. So.
As for all of you folks that tuned in this week, see you next week. Later on, folks.
Week, guys. Bye.